It's Tessa with Hip Over 50. I'm still house sitting at this cottage in Somerset, so if you hear sheep or birds singing, that's why. They're right outside the window again. Today I'm going to talk to you about a concept that's really close to my heart. Should I stay or should I go? Now, this concept is obviously it applies to where you live, but it can also apply to relationships and it can apply to perhaps a job. Are you thinking about retiring early? Um, it's always difficult to know if we are on the right path, to know, to fulfill our desires, to fulfill what makes us happy. First of all, you got to know what makes you happy. So go back to my other video that I did about spending your perfect day and get really clear on what the elements of your perfect day are. Where are you? What are you doing? And who are you doing it with? And more importantly, how are you feeling? When I'm spending my perfect day, I'm out in nature, always. I just get filled up with such, I would almost call it like ecstasy. It's just being in nature is just always so invigorating to me and so, I don't know, there isn't anything more exciting in a way. It's sort of that quiet, beautiful excitement that just sort of lives in you. And then you look up at the sky or at this, I mean, it's so beautiful here in England. You just look and you go, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And it's enough. So those are my perfect, that's when I realized, okay, I can do this. I can be here. This is worth leaving the US. And so I decided to go. What about you? Are you able to do all of the things that you describe or you feel in your perfect day are right for you where you are? Can you do them with who you're with? Or if you're on your own, can you see yourself with a partner? So do you need to move closer to that? Whatever it is that you see in your perfect day, however you see yourself living that authentically you life, and it's going to be different for everybody. Each person has their own kind of heart-led guidance that's telling them this is where your happy place is. And that sounds like a bit of a cliche, but for me, my happy place is here in nature because it just fills me up. Whether it's just riding my bicycle. And I realized that when I lived in Colorado. I was renting a condo in Denver and I could roll out onto the trails by the Platte River whenever I wanted to. And I loved it. I absolutely adored it. In fact, it got to be where if I didn't go out on my bike on a day, I felt deprived. I mean, it was just, I don't know what it was. It was being outside, it was moving, it was just the fun of just riding my bike. And I find walking can be equally as exhilarating. These are not as simple stuff, but it's so important. So that when if I'm in a city or something, yeah, I can appreciate all that the city has to offer, but then I want to go be in nature as soon as I can, because that's where my cup gets filled up. What about you? Now, if you've identified all the things that you want in your perfect day, then how can you move forward? And does that tell you, that does give you guidance as to whether you should stay or go, because everything that you have in your life now should be moving you closer to that goal of spending your days the way you want. Everything. So if where you are now, for example, if you're living in a city now and you're like me and you just come alive when you're out in nature, then you should go and get closer to that. If you're in a relationship where you're not supported or you're not listened to or heard and you don't feel like you can move forward and have those experiences that are important to you with this person, then maybe it's time to go. However, if you can experience all of those things with that person and you have had a rich and varied life, but you just need to work out some bugs or maybe communicate better, then maybe you should stay. So I think using the perfect day scenario it's a heart-led exercise because you're not listening to your brain. Your brain is probably saying, well, you should really go here because you'll get more for your money in that neighborhood or that state or that country, or you should go there because that's where your kids live, or you should live here because this is where you're used to. Don't let your brain rule rule your thoughts, because it will. It'll try to sort through things and be the controlling aspect of what goes on in your life. What you need is let your brain take a back seat, tell it thoughts, stop for now, and let your heart be your guidance. Because your heart really does kind of know what's going on. Your heart is like a second brain. I know they say the gut is the new brain, but the heart is as important, if not more so, with nerve endings, etc., receptors. I mean, the heart keeps beating even when the brain is dead. The heart is not just a kind of a physical organ in our body, but it has an electromagnetic field that is amazing, that kind of connects with everything around it, connects to the Earth's magnetic field. Yeah, this may sound woo-woo, but the fact is that to discard your heart as just an organ or just something that you think about on Valentine's Day is not giving it justice and is not taking advantage of the perfect tool for you to really hone in on whether you should stay or go. Because your heart will tell you. Your heart always knows because it's got everything that's ever happened to you encoded in it. And it knows deep down what you want and where you're happy. So when we deny what makes us happy to stay somewhere because we think we should or because we always have, then you're never going to be happy because your heart isn't going to be happy. But when you take the courageous step of saying, yeah, I'm going to listen to my heart. I don't know where it's going to lead me, but I'm going to follow it because I trust in its guidance and I trust in myself. Then you can free yourself up to go if that's where you should be or if that's what you should do. So always take a listen to your heart and it'll tell you whether you should stay or go. Hope this was helpful. Any comments, put them in the box below. Take care. Bye.